So I don't know how much you guys know about this, but Activision employees are threatening violence. Trans people are talking about buying guns on public Slack channels. Grums posted it, and if you guys saw the Slack, it's fucking nuts. I'm like, this is not normal behavior. This is, I know we all know they're not normal people, but it's like, this is like FBI shit, what they're writing. I'm like, this is a precursor to a massive event.
It's insane.
And we're like, hey, everyone, do something over here. There's a problem. Everyone, hello.
Like the people at the Pennsylvania rally just shouting, "There's a guy on the roof." Yeah,
and everybody's ignoring them. I have a question before I step away really quick. I have a question. I saw on Twitter. I don't know if this is the same group. I saw somebody say, "Be careful buying guns if you are, I guess, depressed or something." They were trying to say like for the trans people to not buy the guns because then they have a high chance. And I'm not saying this as a joke. They have a high chance to off themselves. Was it the same like group saying that? Because didn't they say something about minorities, like minorities buy guns because it's hard to be oppressed or something like that?
Yeah, that was part of the.
I don't even know what they mean by that.
I saw so many screenshots going around. I don't even know who's who anymore. But it's wild the amount of people out there who are part of, I guess,
never
LGBTQ or whatever. Well, they never.
So they're mentally ill.
I
most
disagree.
People,
look, trannies out there. If you are an American citizen, it is your God-given right to the Second Amendment.
Nah.
You are allowed.
God damn it, Leon.
They're mentally ill. They're mentally ill.
It does not. It is their right as American citizens.
If you have a gender realignment surgery, that is basically the same as being diagnosed
with
with
a mental illness. It is their right as an American citizen. They have a Second Amendment right. Trannies buy all the guns you want. Do with them what you will, and we'll see what happens. Yeah. But buying them, owning them, that is your right.
So this is.
I mean, it is every American
mental illness.
You guys, did anyone?
Time out. Go over the messages. Wait. Come on. Focus.
All right. So before I read it, did anyone besides me and Hypno see this yet?
I saw it. Yeah.
No, but please go ahead.
No.
Okay. So it must be working on Bleep, making me more violent, but I have never been more tempted to buy a gun. Remember, this is the internal, like, public chat for Slack for Activision Blizzard where they're writing this stuff. And someone wrote, "Arm the left," with a guy saying, with hands up. And then the next guy, this one's the craziest one. After all, an armed minority is harder to oppress with the Uzi.
Get the fuck out of here.
All right, first off,
fuck out of here. I'm tired of this shit, bro.
First off, that's true. But that also goes for everybody, right? Anyone armed is harder to oppress.
But
I mean, yeah, that part, yes. But like,
this is like, what are their brains? The chemicals in their brains are like, yeah, it'll be a
smash. I'll just tell you this.
At work is kind of weird too, right? Like this is something they all have access to. This is like if you were to have this conversation on Teams or something. You ever use Microsoft Teams?
Yeah.
And then like your whole fucking Teams is suddenly like filled with people melting down over Trump. And imagine being someone who has access to this chat. And you're reading them melt down and talk about guns and shit, and you're thinking to yourself, "Damn, I voted for Trump, bro." Shit.
Yeah.
But can you imagine just being that person?
Are so annoying.
But that's the environment they're trying to create in these companies where they're scared because they're like, "Oh shit, are we the minority now?" Like, "Oh no." Anyway, let me finish it off.
Great. That really tells it, man.
Let me finish it off real quick. Let me finish it off, then we can talk about it. If you can afford it, get life insurance. No one fights harder than insurance companies. And if more minorities get them, then it'll be harder for hate crime to get swept under the rug. What?
You know what annoys me about all of this, Smash, is that these types of people only see minorities as fucking conveniences to encroach upon their ideas. And just I'm saying this because I'm Latino, right? But like, I don't look like typical Latino. Like I could easily mask as a fucking gringo and nobody would notice unless I spoke Spanish, right? But even so, it annoys the fuck out of me, this victim mentality they're trying to push on every goddamn minority out there, right? Yeah. And the fact that, oh no, you're always oppressed, you're always in trouble, you're always in the poverty line. Get the fuck out of here, man. Work your ass off, get your shit done, and stop fucking complaining, because not everything that's going wrong in your life is the government's fault. It's your goddamn fault because you don't want to do shit. Okay?
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah, you tell them.
Well, it's not the government. It's Trump's fault.
They want
Yeah,
to.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. Sorry, it's Trump's fault. That's what they all say, right? Either way, fuck them. You know?
This whole thing reads as somebody who wants something bad to happen to them. Like they want a reason to be oppressed and to be victimized. Like they want that shit to happen because you wouldn't be saying shit like this if you didn't.
Kata, it's not just that. I got more. There's more. So Grum said, Activision Blizzard devs are melting down after the election. About half the office is losing their minds. People are crying, panicking, leaving work early. Trans people are talking about buying guns, which is totally normal, of course. People are passing out crisis support line numbers. It's complete chaos. Source, longtime insider at Activision Blizzard, status rumor. And I, for one, believe Grum's on this because he used to work there. He has connections. And I know how Activision Blizzard operates, and it is completely in line with everything there. And
so they're just going to make Nashville again, but on a national level. Is that what they're trying to do?
Right.
They're trying to create a freaking panic.
Shout out to Grums for acknowledging that it's a rumor and stating who his, semi-stating who his source was. I think that is a much better way of doing this than what he had done in the past. So good work on that.
You know what I love about
we have to have journalistic integrity. If that, just for that as an aside, we have to have integrity in our sort of public journalism because they have none in the actual journalism.
Correct.
Well, and to be fair, Grums has made quite a few missteps as of late and been called out on it, understandably so. So I'm glad to see he's like taking that feedback and is like, you know what, I should probably kind of alter what I'm doing if I care about what I'm doing. Like I genuinely think that this is good to see.
Agreed.
And also, you guys also got to understand.
I think the term trans and people, though, is a contradiction in terms. You can either be trans or a person, but apart from that, every part of this is perfectly fine. But this is what our opposition do, folks. When they lose, when they're on the back foot, they cry, they panic, they go absolutely insane, and very little of what they actually spurg out on actually happens. Because it's all performative. For the most part, you do get exceptions to the rule. There was one example that nearly did in the Orange Dawn, but that is the exception, not the rule.
They're creating like a false crisis situation when there is none. Like, look, I'm sorry to say this, but just because the guy you didn't want to be president won the election does not mean that all of a sudden he's going to turn into the fucking German mustache man and throw you into a freaking camp just because you disagree with him.
And they were afraid the first time. This is the first time. What are they afraid of the second time?
They literally.
Here's why this is objectively a good thing. The left wants to ban guns. This is an absolute fact. They've wanted it for a long time.
They do.
It's going to be much harder for them to stow that propaganda, to push that propaganda, if now all their constituents actually want to buy guns. I mean, this is an absolute two-way win.
No, you're right. This is a perfect win for like our side, or for the side of people that want to freaking defend themselves against
we
oppression.
The people.
Real oppression.
I mean, it literally, the first three words, we the people. I just don't see them as people, so they don't deserve rights. It's literally in the term trans. But from my perspective, looking at this, I think it's a good thing that our opposition are going insane and not thinking straight, because it means it's easier to defeat an opposition that cannot think properly, that cannot process things.
Wait, hold
properly.
on, Ryan. Going insane? Like they're not there already.
Well, it's a continuing process, Smash. If they were insane, that would be one thing. But we know that there's no bottom for these people. So it's a continuous process.
Bottom?
Shut up, Will. Fucking bastard. Trying to undermine my point.
Because Ryan's in the mood.
Crisis support lines. Cut the fucking phone lines. It just means one less voter.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
What can we do? We've already won. Freedom of speech for all American channels.
That's not how it works. Did you watch the first Trump presidency? We haven't already won. There's still a million ways they can completely fuck with that.
Absolutely. No, Will's 100%. It's great to be positive about the Trump win and everything to that effect. That being said, they are until the inauguration is official, shit can go south, shit can go down. Don't get comfortable.
No, that's true. That's true. They could still try to pull some kind of like unexpected.
All we are in it right now is the best possible position to achieve more with what we already do.
Yeah. And look, one thing I can say is at least
with this Trump presidency, fucking take him out.
Look, at least with this Trump presidency, we can say it's the start of at least some sort of like baseline framework that somebody else can work off and improve on. Okay, but again, it will take a lot of work, and this shit won't get done in 20 years. This kind of stuff, like changing of like just people's perceptions into a more positive outlook, that's going to take a long time, okay? Because like people didn't realize this for a long time. We've been stuck in the shitter for a very long time, and we now are just starting to begin to crawl out of it.
Yeah.
So
also,
we got to put in the effort on all
our. A lot of you guys in chat are really worried about what we're talking about, getting the stream taken down. Go back and watch some of our Pride Month shit from last year.
Exactly. It was worse. It was worse than this. This is actually very, very normal. Considering the Pride shit we said.
Tech support.
Oh my god, that was funny as fuck. And it never actually happened.
We're way fucking edgier than.
We are way more edgy than this. This is actually pretty normal.
But anyway, let me try to corral it back to on topic at Activision.
Sorry. Go ahead.
At Activision Blizzard with these employees, do you think Activision Blizzard is going to reprimand them or do anything about it?
They're not going to.
What it sounds like, just from this, because I honestly I don't follow gaming news, and unfortunately, that's just something that I dabble in it a little bit, but I don't really follow it as closely as you guys do, but it sounds like these employees have been coddled for a very, very long time, and they're acting out like children. And that's what all of these leftists, that's how these leftists act. They act like a bunch of children, and these children didn't get what they want. And so now they're crying and they're panicking and they're leaving work early and they're making these threats. And these people are so unhinged. And unfortunately, because like right now with like the generation of people entering the workforce, turnaround in the workforce is so high nowadays that you kind of have to coddle them and sort of like so they don't leave your company because there's no sense of loyalty anymore when it comes to
the companies don't
job. No, she's absolutely right.
So companies have had to sort of change the way that they do things, and these employees have been coddled. And what they get, whatever they want, and this is the result of
what
it.
Happens
They're
when
crying and lashing out and leaving work early. If you did that, if I had done that when I started working, dude, I would have been fired. My manager would have been like, "What is wrong with you? You need to go home." And maybe just stay there a couple of days.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're already seeing companies refuse to hire Gen Z.
You're not bringing anything of value to the company, so we're going to let you go. But these employees have been coddled for such a fucking long time that this is the result of it. That's how they act. When they don't get their way, they act like children.